Colin, last game of the long regular season on Sunday, but is it now one that you kind of want to get out of the way?
No, I think we've got to use it because we'll need the game to get ready for the following weekend, which is obviously perhaps more important for us than this weekend. But we've got to come out of the game and we'd like to come out in the same sort of feeling that we had after Derby, that we've played well. We look as if we're quite tight together and we have a threat when we attack. So the intention at the minute is to have that feeling and win the game.
How much has focus shifted to playoffs, if at all, in the dressing room, on the training field?
Well, you're always like a game ahead in the normal season. You know, you're preparing for a little bit, but that all happens in the background, and the focus for the players and the immediate staff when we're talking to them and training this week is obviously Millwall, and it'll be a good test. I think the atmosphere of this game will be similar. You know, it'll be a really raucous atmosphere, full house, and it won't be that sort of end of season party atmosphere that might happen elsewhere around the country. So going forward, that's good preparation for being able to handle that, being used to it, and I think it's helpful in that way.
83 points at the minute, can be as many as 86. If we'd have said to the management group at the start of the season that would be the total, what would you have all said?
Wouldn't be enough. No, we're 3 or 4 short at least. So I don't think that wouldn't have guaranteed it. So you've got to shoot higher for that.
And obviously rules prevent wholesale changes to a matchday team, but what are you planning in terms of freshening it up a little bit?
Well, I think we've got to think of preparing people who maybe haven't played a little bit. Is it a time that they can get game minutes and find a bit more rhythm to their game? It's not fully decided yet whether we'll go down that line, but what we don't want to come out with is any suspensions, injuries. We hope we don't get, but we have to accept it's part and parcel, but we have to control our minds. And I think, as I spoke about before, this atmosphere, you're going to have to be clued in, you're going to have to be ready for the game. You can't have any thoughts of coasting through the 90 minutes because they're going to play hard against us, and we want to play hard, to play well, to win the game.
On the same note, can you have a look at a couple of different things, similarly to as we did against Ipswich?
I think that'll definitely come into play. And if there's any slight knocks or anything along those lines, we might keep somebody back, but we've got to be honest to ourselves. And I think the way the group are this week, I think they all want to play to make sure that they play the following week.
How did you rate that second half performance against Derby?
Well, I think the atmosphere in the stadium was top notch, and that helped. The way the players kept going. And kept at it, kept having a threat, kept putting the goal under threat, being fairly aggressive and trying to play as quick as we could. And we had to play pretty well to get through a well-organised defence who really defended their goal very, very well.
Did the intensity and the atmosphere just show why we'll be a force in that second leg?
Yeah, I think if it can make a difference, we've got to urge the crowd to make that difference. And then the players have no complaints. You know, there'll be moments in the playoff games when it's maybe not in our we're not in the ascendancy and we'll need them. But similarly, if we are playing well, it's that extra thing. It does give you an extra yard. It does push you on. Things happen a little bit quicker or easier because of the atmosphere. And as I say, we're urge the crowd to be even more vociferous on the playoff game.
Just before the game and after as well, it was a nice moment for Gabby to say goodbye to the fans. Yeah,
terrific. And you know, if it's coming to the end of his time at the club, and you know, whenever we spoke to him, he knows the ins and outs of the place. So it was a nice tribute, and the boys have been giving him a bit of Mickey taking, as happens in any dressing room. but he's been to the forefront of Mickey taking of everybody else for a number of years, so he's going to have to take it this week.
And the fans are keen to know whether there'll be one last send-off perhaps on Sunday, given the situation.
I don't know. That's maybe that's why the managers put me up this morning.
I want to touch on Tuesday night 23s, a quite amazing game at Villa Park. You were there. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean it was good, and the reaction to going behind, coming back very quickly. You know, there was good attributes apart from the football, and their resistance to the pressure and their determination to win the game. And it's not just been this game; it's been a number of games recently where they've gone to extra time, gone late into the games, and won come from behind. All these type of factors are good attributes to have in footballers. Andre
Green looked pretty sharp. Where is he at the minute in terms of match fitness?
Yeah, I think he looks as if he'll need some more minutes, and he'll probably go and play in the 23s Friday night with Kev, because we think that's the best way to have a longer period on the pitch than they may get at the weekend.
Yeah, and just lastly on that, a big cup final for them tomorrow, just a message ahead of the game.
Well, it's too far for us to go, I think. I don't think there'll be too many of us down there, but they know that the support and will be watching, and we wish them all the best. They're a nice group of players, very respectful, and they're a credit to Kevin and Mark Delaney.
Cheers, Colin.
Colin, the fact that you're guaranteed fourth spot, irrespective of this game, is a strange one. I wonder whether you look at it and think, you've just been talking about it a little bit, it's that balance, isn't it, between trying to build some momentum, get some confidence into the players going into what is the extra time of the season, but trying to rest a few as well.
Yeah, I mean, the confidence I think's there. I think we've played at a good level, and you can see a nice rhythm to the way we play. Certainly in training this week, it's been fairly good. So that side of it, it's just having everyone as prepared as possible, and if that means one or two come in at the weekend, then I think that'll be beneficial, because we have to be mindful a two-legged game that may go to extra time. We don't want to be running out of gas because people haven't had enough time on the pitch. We're slightly fortunate that we've got people coming back from injury who haven't played with us quite a bit this year. Young Andre may be one, John Codger's another, and the more time they have in match action at the minute, I think will be helpful going forward.
It looks like it's going to be Borough, could be Derby, but it looks like it's going to be Borough. Can you start preparing for that in your minds and in the players' minds?
No, I think you can. We'll waste a lot. Both teams will waste a lot of energy if we solely just research Middlesbrough. So, you know, we've got the analysts have got a vault of stuff that they'll give us once Sunday finishes. But we've obviously played Derby recently. We've got Middlesbrough in our minds, but you know, it's very easy to collect it, and with the history of the season against them and what you think you know, it'll be a case of revisiting it and going through it quite quickly. And but it's not to the forefront of our mind at the minute, either of them, I must admit.
The battle for automatic promotion goes on away from you, of course. You've played both of those teams. How do you see it? Fulham or Cardiff for you?
I think Cardiff, when being at home, I think that could sway it, and I think that'll be the deciding factor, the home crowd. As we spoke about earlier, the atmosphere in the ground, how it can drive the team forward and really help them. I think that factor could be the telling difference.
And you mentioned that you don't want any suspensions. I mean, look, Millwall can be a hostile place at the best of times. Is there an extra message to the players there to think about that, be aware of that, and keep their discipline?
Yeah, I mean, Millwall being a hostile place, they go and play football, and they play quite hard, and it's a great atmosphere to play in. It's a testing one, and it really puts you on your mettle, I must admit. So I think it's good preparation for the intensity or the atmosphere that will happen the following weekend, wherever that may be. So we've got absolutely no problems about it, and I think it might be quite helpful that the game is a full-on game.
It could be quite a strange one though. When you say it's a full-on game, but you imagine that the players will have a bit in the back of their minds thinking the real business comes in a week's time. So that's a strange one, isn't it, for the last game of the season for the Villa players?
I would imagine if I was a player, I'd want to play well to get in the team the following week. So I think that would be the first thought. And to do that, you got to be forceful. You got to have aggression in your game, and you don't look after yourself.
And if we'd said to you at the start of the season that you get a playoff place, you'd have taken that, wouldn't you? After all this club's been through, maybe. I mean, I know the fans and the ultimate aim would have been automatic, but you know, it's still there for you.
Well, it's the insurance policy that you've got. You know, we've always aimed for that automatic promotion, and there's a lot of teams been pushing for that. So, but in our heads, you know, it's always been slightly just beyond us the whole time. We've always been chasing. We've needed something to happen with the other teams to get level or ahead. So, because of that, I don't think there's any disappointment in us at the minute. We're still full of enthusiasm for what the season may bring.
Yeah, and actually going into it in form, and that's what I suppose when I talked to you about how many changes you might make. 1 defeat in 7, 4 games unbeaten. To keep that run going, to keep that momentum going is fairly important. Does that come into your mind when you think about how many changes you might make?
No, I think I've got full confidence in the group of players, and that's the ones that haven't necessarily started in the last couple. And I think we've got enough within the group to go and win playoff games with them as well, not just not just on Sunday.